So what's up everyone, and welcome to another Warframe Tennogen fashion frame video. So as you may know, the recent release of Tennogen items have come out, and looking at the different items that have been released, I have to admit there are some really nice items that have come out into the game. There's some nice skins for frames like Volt and Ember. There's some really nice Sandana skins. There's some weapon skins even for weapons such as the Scana. But the ones that caught my attention were the skins for Ivara. And though there were two and both are extremely intriguing, the one that I finally decided to get was the Ivara Yokai skin. And so I decided to make a video on it and look over how to fashion frame using this skin. So the Yokai skin is a skin and helmet combination, and the name Yokai is a Japanese phrase that basically means ghost or spirit or phantom or demon. It basically is a generic name that you might give to any of those creatures that live in the alternate universe, the netherworld, the dark world, or as the Japanese might call it, the Yami no Sekai. Now, why the developer decided to name the skin Yokai is not known, at least to me, but it may be because Ivara is a stealthy frame and assassination would be her forte because her two strong skills are sniping and shadow stealthing. And so if you have a name that's like Ghost, then it may be very appropriate to the theme of Ivara. Now, with regards to the developer of the Yokai skin is actually a very popular and famous developer. I've talked about him in the past, and I'm not sure if I need to mention him because so many people know about his work. His name is Hitsu-san, and he's done a phenomenal amount of Tennogen skins to the game, as you can see here. I myself have gotten a lot of his skins in the past, including the Alada skin for Mag, the Hagoromo skin for Zephyr, as well as the Emperor skin for Frost. And it wasn't because it is made by Hitsu-san that I got this skin, but on the other hand, since I do like his workmanship, I can understand why I kind of gravitated towards this particular skin. So the reason I decided to get this skin is not just because of the quality of workmanship in the Yokai skin, but because it's a skin for Ivara. And although there were some really nice skins by other developers, who many of them I really like as well, I've always wanted to get a replacement skin for Ivara because I've always found that her default skin is kind of interesting. It's not particularly bad, it's just that it is a very unique sort of look. Now, Ivara is supposed to be the sniper, and so maybe she kind of has that sniper sort of feel. She has that hood as well as kind of a camouflagey sort of pattern that may go well if you're out in the wilderness trying to blend into a certain area. Now, I don't know why her colors are the ones that she has, unless maybe she's in the desert sort of environment. But yeah, overall, it might be a pretty good theme for a sniper sort of frame. I guess from a personal bias sort of perspective, there were two characteristics that I didn't particularly like about the default frame. One was, of course, the obvious cyclopean sort of eye. But the other, which was almost even more of an issue for me, was that no matter what color you chose to frame, there were certain areas of the frame which kind of remained gray. Now, this isn't as bad as Nyx in the sense that the gray will change in shade according to the types of color combinations that you have. So it's not as bad as the default gray that you get in Nyx. Wow. This is a pretty nice one. I might consider this for one of the looks for Ivara. Anyways, but yeah, that was one of the reasons. And because of that, I always wanted to look for a color combination that would work well with the gray. Oh, this one's pretty nice too. So the color combination I have been using with Ivara up till now was this kind of dark black and purple sort of theme. And although, as you can see, I don't use any light purples at all, there is this gray area all over her body which is kind of default there, and although it has a shade of purple so that it works relatively well with the frame, I really can't control the shade of that area. And because of that, I was always a little bit concerned about the limitations in being able to customize the frame. So if there ever was a skin, a Tennogen skin that gave me the ability to resolve both the Cyclopean eye as well as the limitations in this color due to the gray area, then that was something that was always of interest to me. Okay, so this brings us to the Yokai skin, and I have to admit it's a really nice looking skin, and the nice thing is it answers to the two concerns that I had with the original default skin. One was the giant Cyclopean eye, and the other was of course the gray area that couldn't be controlled. And although this skin also has a kind of a Cyclopean sort of eye, it's a lot well balanced and much better blended into the frame. And to be honest, this frame, this helmet looks really nice. It looks very serious, and it makes her look like a assassin. Now, the patterns that you see here are very much signature of Hitsu-san, and it looks very much like another frame that he designed, which was the Alata Mag skin. And there was also a very complex sort of design, but just like with the Alata skin, it follows and flows quite well. And so although there's this complexity that gives the user or the player the ability to customize the frame quite well, there is a good flow to it. So it's not like it's a random mishmash of patterns, but the complexity is more balanced. And so yeah, just like with the Alata frame, I find the patterns to be very nice. Now, I'm not sure if, to be honest, from a personal, again, bias point of view, I'm not sure if I enjoy the color combination too much. But of course, since Hitsu-san gives us the ability to completely control the colors all over the frame skin, that gives the user the ability to customize the frame quite well. And so if I were to go back to the original color combination that I had with the default skin, then this is what it would look like if you were to use it on the Yokai skin. Now, I don't know about you, but I find this appearance to look really nice. I tend to like the dark, stealthy look, especially for a frame like Ivara. And this frame has that really nice dark stealthy appearance, not just in the colors, but also in the way the helmet looks and the skin looks. She seriously looks like a dark assassin. Now the colors are really nice, and there's no longer any annoying grays, and this is the color combination I'm using. For the attachments, I've used all Edo items. And I have shown all the color combinations for all the items here. So yeah, this looks seriously nice. I also use the Dex Sandana, and it tends to work quite well with this appearance. So I'm quite happy with it. Same with the Regalia. And overall, I just find this look to look very nice. So I think I'll continue to use this look as my default look for Ivara. Now, though I like a darker, stealthier look, I know a lot of people don't. And for that, I just show a much more softer, lighter look here, just as an example. And I'm using mostly pinks and purples and reds here. And I think this looks pretty nice as well. This is a much more softer look. And even though it is a softer look, because the helmet has that very serious stare, she still looks like a very tough-looking sniper, just that she has a much more feminine, softer appearance here. And for this, I've used the Rota Sandana, as well as the Porta leg guards and the Daedalus shoulder pieces. And I think this looks pretty nice overall. I've shown the color combination, so if you wanted to look at it, then you could use the color combinations that I used here. Now, as far as the Regalia, I do use a Zanuka Regalia. Overall, it looks pretty nice. I'm not sure if light pink / purple is the way you look at it, but or you may prefer Ivara, but this is a good example of how a light appearance may look for this sort of skin. And here is another example of a little bit more shadowy sort of look, but not completely black. And I found this one quite nice. It just I was playing around with various colors and this just happened to come up. So this uses overall blue and grays as blacks as the main color for the frame, with the exception of the energy. But for the attachments, I use a lot of purples and reds. And the contrast between the attachments and the frame makes this one stand out pretty nice. And so this is kind of an interesting one. It has a much more stealthier look than the light pinks that we had before, but it's still a very colorful frame because of the fact that she stands out with a lot of reds and purples in her energy. And because I'm using a lot of glowing attachments, this tends to stand out quite nice, even though she's using darker colors or darker shades for the main frame. And as a final example, of course, you really can't complete a sniper look without some sort of forestly earth tone sort of camo look. And so here I've used mostly browns, a few greens, and a little bit of yellows to actually give that sort of forestly outdoor look if she needed to kind of snipe somebody from the outdoors. And so I think this looks pretty nice as well. Overall, the frame is quite strong in its appearance, that no matter what sort of colors you give her, she has a very kind of elite style that comes out of it. And she definitely has a very sniper theme to her. And that really comes out to look really well. I really like that about her. She doesn't particularly look too mechanized. There is a little bit of that in her helmet, especially in the eye area. But overall, she has a very stealthy assassin, agent, ninja sort of look. So it definitely does go well with the overall theme of Warframe. And overall, this resolves a lot of the concerns that I had with the original default frame. And in general, this just makes her look a lot stealthier and a lot more assassin-like than the original default frame. So I'm very glad that I got this frame, and overall I think I'll continue to use this as my default look for Ivara. And in the end, there may be of course a question about why you would need a skin or a fashion skin for a frame that most of the time remains invisible. And that is a very good argument to bring up. But for me, again, a lot of this is all about the enjoyment of gameplay. This isn't about practicality. It isn't about logic. Playing Warframe never was. It's all about really how much I enjoy playing the game. And from my perspective, again, I've always found a little bit of concern with the default skin that I had with Ivara, and yet I use Ivara quite a bit for many of my missions. And so if I could find a skin that made her general appearance look really good, then I felt that it was worth it. Anyway, that's it for my video for Ivara's Yokai skin. And thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any comments, then please post them in the comments section below. And I think in the future we'll continue on with more fashion frame videos as I get a chance to find more items to make videos on. It's always a pleasure to make videos for you, and we'll continue on with Warframe videos in the future. And until the next video, I wish you all the best. And as always, Jaya, nice day everyone.